In episode 14, Selena Gomez's twink brother is trying to invent a new spell. Apparently, there's this whole process for inventing spells. You have to come up with a spell. It has to be a great idea that's going to help wizards all over the place. And there's a committee that reviews the spell and decides whether or not to approve it. This doesn't necessarily make sense to me because they make up spells all the time. All the damn time. They just like make up things that rhyme. Like, last season, Selena Gomez made up a spell that would put her into a movie. That's not a real spell. She made it up. But I guess within the universe of this episode, you have to have an approval process. You have to invent a spell that's useful to get approved. And Selena Gomez's dad is really excited that the twink brother is coming up with this new spell. He's like, yeah, this is going to make our family famous. But so while he's preparing all of this, Selena Gomez's dad tells Selena Gomez, well, you have to do all of his chores now because he's going to be really busy with this. So she has to do all the cleaning and wash the dishes and all sorts of stuff. And she's pretty pissed off about that because she has some other stupid shit she wants to do on her. She wants to go to a movie. That's it. There's a movie that she wants to go to with Harper, but she's not allowed to go until she finishes the chores. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez's little brother is trying to come up with his own spell because he's like, yeah, I can come up with a spell too. And all of his ideas are terrible. I'm trying to remember. Can't even do it. He's like inventing things that already exist. One of them. All right, here we go. So he attaches a toothbrush to a back scratcher. It's like, have you ever had a back itch while you're trying to brush your teeth? Well, now we have this toothbrush slash back scratcher where you can do both at the same time. That's one of his inventions. They're all that level of stupid. But Selena Gomez's twink brother, comes up with a new spell. He calls it the Helping Hand. So it's literally a hand in a box that it's a disembodied hand, and it goes around doing tasks for you. It can fly, it can give you back rubs, it can wash dishes. So Selena Gomez finds out about this, and she tries to use the Helping Hand spell to do her chores for her. So she's having it wash dishes, she's having it clean the restaurant, she's having it clean up her room, and it works very well until the hand gets sick of it. And the hand is like, I'm done with this shit. It doesn't talk, but it has expressions and stuff that she can interpret. But she's like, oh no, we still have more chores to do. So she literally grabs the hand and puts it inside a towel and is forcing it to wash windows, which she's actually doing the window washing, but just forcing the hand to do it. Anyway, how this ends, of course, is she ends up ruining her twink brother's spell because the hand is so tired by the time it has to get reviewed by the spell review committee or whatever that it doesn't want to do it. Of course, this hand is always described as a woman's hand. They use female pronouns for it because, of course, the serving industry, Disney Channel in the aughts, trying to reinforce outdated gender norms. But eventually, Selena Gomez ends up having a talk with the hand, like, hey, look, it's my fault. You're mad at me. You're not mad at my twink brother. Please just do the tasks for the committee so that he can show them how great he is. It works out. He ends up having his spell approved, and everybody lives happily ever after. Episode 15 starts out with them in the lair. I guess Selena Gomez's mom is out of town, and so they are playing games instead of actually doing a formal lesson. So what they do is what Selena Gomez's dad calls spell roulette. They open the spell book and point to a spell and just do it. This seems dangerous. Seems like it's a really, really bad idea, but this is their teacher telling them to do that. But Selena Gomez's little brother goes in and points to a spell, and he turns himself into a golden retriever. Great. Well, so in this non-lesson, it's really just a game. Selena Gomez's dad ends up showing them about undo dust. So undo dust is just like a jar of dust that they use to undo spells. You can just sprinkle it on somebody, and even if you don't know what spell is on them, or if you did the spell and you don't remember the counter spell, it just undoes it. So spoiler alert, this becomes important in the episode. So the main plot of the episode is Selena Gomez really likes art class. It's really the only class that she actually enjoys. And she has this teacher she really loves, and she's just enthusiastic about art. Well, this kid TJ, throwback time. It's the kid from last season who charmed his parents into letting him do magic whenever he wants, wherever he wants. Same kid. I looked it up. It is the same kid. I had a question about whether it is, and it is. But so he's just an asshole in art class. Just terrible. He's mean to the teacher. He's mean to Selena Gomez. He makes a mess. He's insulting other people's art, etc. Well, after class, Selena Gomez hangs back and is chatting with the teacher, and the teacher's like, hey, can you help me clean up? And so Selena Gomez does clean up. She uses magic to clean up, while the teacher's turned the other way. Well, it turns out the teacher figures it out that this is magic. She cleaned up way too fast. So teacher comes to Selena Gomez's apartment later on and says, I figured it out. You are a wizard. And Selena Gomez is like, no, what? What are you talking about? So in this conversation, the teacher explains she and TJ, the bad kid, dated over the summer. Well, things went south with them. They broke up. TJ decided to get back at her by changing her from a 16-year-old girl, which she was. I should have mentioned, she was 16 when she was dating TJ. She was not a 40-year-old teacher dating this student. New York's age of consent is 17, as we all learned in Gossip Girl. But he transformed her from 16 to 40. And so then she became their teacher. Well, she wants to get her life back. She wants to be a teenage girl again. So she begs Selena Gomez, hey, can you undo this? So Selena Gomez is like, you know what? I know a way to test this. Let's get the undo dust. So she gets the undo dust. Girl turns out to be right, and she gets transformed back into a 16-year-old girl. She's super excited. She quits her job as art teacher and then goes on to living a teenager's life. Well, this kind of bites Selena Gomez in the ass because, again, art is the only class she actually likes. So there now is no art teacher. So they're going to cancel the art class because there's no art teacher. Well, Selena Gomez complains to the teachers about this. Her one teacher who's in basically everything is named Mr. Larry Tate. But he decides, okay, I will be the art teacher. But he's teaching it in a way that she doesn't really like. He's teaching it like, okay, you have to draw a realistic picture of what I tell you to draw a picture of. So he ends up going and like dressing up in a cowboy outfit and telling them, you must draw me with your paint in exactly the correct fashion. Selena Gomez then gives a big speech about how that's not art. Art is expressing yourself. You need to be true to who you are. So that's about it. That's about all that happens in the episode. Really, eventually the teacher ends up being like, you know what, Selena Gomez, you are right. It's great that we have somebody who's so passionate about art. And there we go. That's the episode. In episode 16, Rachel Dratch writes a series of books called Charmed and Dangerous, where she writes about the adventures of a family of wizards. Well, Harper has read all of these books and is a huge fan of them, and she's telling Selena Gomez about it. Basically, it's all of the adventures that Selena Gomez and her siblings have. And so Harper sort of predicts things that they're about to do. Like Selena Gomez is saying, oh, did I tell you about this adventure we had over the weekend? And Harper knows exactly about it, even though Selena Gomez hasn't told her about it yet. So they're wondering, how does Rachel Dratch know about all of our adventures? And she goes through them. It's one after another. It's basically exactly everything that's happened in their lives. So they use this machine. They call it the IPP. I don't even remember what it stands for. The only reason I remember the acronym is Selena Gomez's little brother keeps laughing at IPP. Like, haha, you PP'd on what? But they end up finding Rachel Dratch at her, it's like a pottery painting business that she has opened up in upstate New York. So they end up finding Rachel Dratch and confronting her about this. Rachel Dratch is this over-the-top character. She wears silly outfits that she clearly made herself. She ends up in like a robe that has pictures of fishes all over it. It's very, very Harper-esque. Well, it turns out there's a reason why it's Harper-esque. Rachel Dratch is Harper from the future. So she has come back, and apparently everybody knows about wizards in the future. So she's come back in time to write novels about the experiences that Selena Gomez and her siblings have had as wizards. And they are best-selling books now. Everybody's a huge fan of them. Well, Selena Gomez is kind of pissed off about this because Rachel Dratch never asked for her permission to write these books. They are using her life as a story to make money. So she then retroactively gets pissed off at Harper, who hasn't done anything yet, because someday she will end up as Rachel Dratch and come back and write stories. And she doesn't explain any of this to Harper. So Harper is kind of hurt and confused about why Selena Gomez is so pissed off at her. But that they end up in a fight. It's no fun. Eventually, Selena Gomez's twink brother talks her into forgiving Harper. Okay, look, it's important to have your friendships. Don't give up your best friend over all of this. He tells her lies about what's in the books. So he says, oh yeah, I've read all the books. How about you take a look over them? Because you're missing out on some really great stories about your friendship with Harper. He tells her about the story that she recounts in the book about Harper using her knitting skills to save Selena Gomez from dinosaurs. But he made up this story just to manipulate her into reading the books. Oh, how the tables have turned. He is manipulating Selena Gomez into doing something by lying to her, which is what she always does to him. But that ends up working out. Even though Selena Gomez apparently hates reading, she gets talked into it by her twin brother. She reads it and then is kind of mildly annoyed with her twin brother for lying to her about what's in the book. But then she realizes, you know what? These are really good stories. I'm going to give Harper permission to tell our stories. So that's about it. It ends up with a PSA by Selena Gomez about how important it is to read. It's like, in this episode, my character started out not liking reading, but reading is really important, which it is, but it's kind of corny. I think intentionally so. But read, it's important, and don't give away your friends' secrets in a book without their permission.